Hey guys, this is Apple Fox here, back again with another video. This time we'll be talking about the iOS 11, the 5th beta that has just been released by Apple. And as we're getting closer to the final release, there are more and more betas coming. It's the 5th beta already, but the amount of changes and refinements pretty much stays the same. So just like every time, I will go through the interesting stuff this update brings. So let's get started. This is how it appears in the settings. No, Apple still didn't put any useful information into it. Like, some changes could very easily be listed out here in the settings page, but never mind. The size of this update is roughly 300 megabytes, but this might vary depending on the device you're using and also which beta you're already running. The downloading and installing doesn't take long because it's not big, as I mentioned, so in just a couple minutes it should be installed and fully working on my iPhone 5S. Let's just wait for it to be done because that's what we love about updating. Now, as you can see, it finished installing. Let's check the storage right now because I'm so curious if Apple changed the stupid capacity level, where in beta 4 it didn't show the real capacity but only the one written on the box, so it said 16 gigabytes in my case. And the available storage is at 5.64 gigabytes running the beta 4. Now, oh man, it's so disappointing that the capacity doesn't appear normally, but on the other hand, I have gained almost 1 gigabyte, which is truly amazing. The first thing I can see in the settings already is the again changed name for the Siri. It's now again called Siri and Search. In the previous version it was called only Siri, and even before, in the third beta version of iOS 11, the Siri menu was named as Siri as Search too, so kind of interesting from Apple. Icons in the iOS 11 are receiving new looks, so let's see if there's something new in this beta version as well. Apparently the settings icon is a lot darker. I wonder how I didn't notice that right away, but only the black portion of the icon got darker. Like before, the black spots were in a dark shade of gray, and now it's more like black. Just take a look at it compared side by side, you definitely see the difference. I can't really say if it's a good change, but it's just there, so we have to get used to it. The next one where I can surely see the difference is the camera. The two lines at the top are completely missing, it's more like one piece, and it's apparently not a complete redesign as we wished. The gray background is still there, but at least it's changed. I'm pretty curious if they didn't switch back to the old icon of the contacts. Apparently not, it's still the same, but I still need to get used to it. The two people instead of one. I personally like the previous one, but it's okay. Let's move on to the control center, where a lot of changes happen again. Firstly, notice how in the upper portion of the screen there is a blur effect when you keep swiping up. For this you need to have more icons in there, which you can easily add in the settings. I think, it's just my personal opinion, that this blur could be for the upcoming iPhone 8. So as you know, the display of the iPhone 8 will cover the entire front panel, and there is an area at the top for the microphone, camera and the sensors. And to make sure the icons of the control center don't get cropped in a weird way, Apple decided to go for the blur up top, so I think that's the purpose of the blur effect. Whichever icon or toggle you click in the control center, the name of it shows up at the top. That's in case you don't know what these icons mean. It might be confusing for some people. The record screen toggle, where the toggle is the same but the microphone button has moved a little bit upwards. And also the blue bar when recording has turned into red one, just like when you're using a third-party screen recorder in the iOS 10. 3D touching or long pressing on an icon that doesn't provide a widget wouldn't do anything in beta 4 and older. Here in beta 5, when I long press on it, it also turns on, so I don't end up having to click again to turn it on. The screen mirroring toggle has been tweaked just a little bit. The button at the bottom is missing in the latest developer beta. The brightness icon in the toggle in the control center is slightly bigger than before. The same thing applies to the volume icon, but not only that, it also contains 3 instead of 2 volume bars. Also, pretty much every 3D touch activated button has received a bolder font. It's not that apparent, but it's there. Another new thing in beta 5 is the addition of this cool icon in the upper right corner of the music widget. It's supposed to indicate that there is an available device that the music can be streamed to. When you look closer, you may notice that it blinks, which is very nice. I really like it. And lastly is the slightly changed animation when unlocking the phone. It's not really the animation that's changed, it still fades from the dark, but there is no blur anymore. There used to be, when you click the power button, at first it appeared blurry and then it turned back to normal. So guys, that's it. That's all the interesting stuff about iOS 11 beta 5. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you found it useful, then make sure to subscribe because I always make a video when a new version drops. So thank you for watching, enjoy the rest of your day, and see you in the next one.